Welcome back. We are doing 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. Because if I'm here all the time and you're here all the time, inevitably something's gonna happen. We're gonna be friends, right? We do this every day to build consistency and help you to struggle through the stretching, the suffering on the floor that is oh so difficult. Because I'm fun, you're fun, we're trying to be fun together. I am trying these words for the first time today. I'm struggling. So whatever. The goal here is you keep coming back. I keep coming back. We keep on practicing the splits, and together we make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. Good? Let's go. We got to start with some hip cars. This is the warm up. We're gonna get some energy up, and let's go. Hip cars are all about getting your legs through their full range of motion. So they look like this. High knee. Open them up. Ooh. Point that hip directly to the side. Lift the ankle as high as you can. Bring the leg down and back. I'm going to do that again from the side. High knee. Open. Rotate the leg so the ankle is as high as you can bring it. Bring the leg down and back. Hamstrings are flexed. Glutes are flexed. This muscle in the front of your body is pulled back. You're feeling the stretch, and that is one rep. I've done it twice, but that is one rep. We're going to do that 10 times. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. Shake out the leg, give a little pound in the hip, and let's keep going. I'm gonna get rid of these so that I don't trip on them while I'm turning around. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, leg down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. I have kind of lost count because I was really focused on that hip, but I think this is like 7. My gut is telling me now we're at 8. 9, last one, 10. Whew, okay, those are hip cars going forward. Let's prepare to go ahead and do them going backwards. Shake out the leg for a second if you need to. If your hips are tired from holding them up, give them a little bit of a pound, and let's keep going. Hip cars backwards. If you're just joining and you have no idea what we're doing, we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching, and this is warm up 1. We're bringing the leg back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch in the front of the hip flexor. We're lifting the leg directly to the side, trying to lift that ankle really high as possible. We're going to bring the ankle all the way back. Try to lift that knee high, and then bring the knee directly to the front. All right, that's it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. I am afraid I am really bad at counting, so I might have done an extra, I might have done one not enough. That's okay. Let's keep going. Switch to the other side. Back. Again, flex the hamstring, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch on the hip flexor. Lift directly to the side. Keep on trying to bring that ankle up higher. Bring the ankle all the way down. Lift that knee high. And then close it off with the knee in the front. That was my first one. It's that spot where I always get stuck. There's always a little... Oh, there we go. Boom. It's done. Let's go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Oh, give your hips a little bit of a pound. Come on over, drink some water, have some coffee, we are going to move on into the second stretch real quick. Hello, Lulu. Hello, Galleta. Welcome back, welcome back. Mary Lusuna says, back tomorrow at 9 sharp. Lovely. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Ooh, Kelsey has liked the live a lot of times. Thank you. Because I was pretty low energy right at the beginning, and I saw the likes come in, and I was like, boom. That's encouragement. I'm there. Okay. Eduardo, welcome back. It's good to see you. All right. Whew, sipping the coffee real fast. Let's keep going. We're going into warm-up exercise number 2. It is called the elephant walk. These are all about your hamstrings, and all we want to do is sort of get into this L shape. If you're a little bit higher up, that's totally okay. It's all part of the process. From here, I want you to just do a little bit of wiggle, just a little bit of a shake as you try to bring your belly button down to the ground. You don't have to do anything intense. You don't have to do anything super dramatic. Just, if you feel like something's tight, just give it a little wiggle. And focus on bringing the belly button down to the ground. If your knees are achy when you keep them locked straight, you can give them a slight bend. We're going to breathe and just relax and see what happens when we give our body a little bit of time to try and get a little bit deeper into this hamstring stretch, into this forward fold. Breathe. And now that we hung out here for a little bit, let's start bending one knee at a time. So right now my left knee is bent. I'm still trying to bring my belly button down as low as it can go. And I'm switching to the right knee. Left, right, left, right. What I want you to feel is your hamstrings being super tight and then them kind of shifting inside your leg. The reason why I want you to get comfortable with this is because you're moving at sort of your maximum range of motion, and we're training the brain to recognize that, hey, we can move here. We can do this. Let's keep going. I would love it if you got to a point where suddenly you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can move pretty smoothly. There's nothing getting stuck. Everything feels good enough. I can't imagine it feels really good, but good enough. Okay, we're going to do 3 more seconds, and then we're going to switch over to some thoracic rotation. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Oh, come on up. Shake out the legs. Do a little wiggle, and we're going to get right back into that same position that we were just in. So, come on down, fold forward, bend one knee. Right now my left knee is bent, my right leg is straight. I'm taking my left hand, so the opposite hand, I'm going to reach across to the right leg, and we're doing thoracic rotation. What that means is we are rotating the upper bit of the spine, and I want you to extend that right arm up into the air. Look at it with your eyes so your neck is also rotating a little bit. Reach as far back behind you as you can go, and come back down center and chill. Breathe for a second and switch it up. Now my right leg is bent, my left leg is straight. I'm taking my right hand, pushing against my left leg. Chest is rotating to the left. Left arm is reaching up into the sky. And we're reaching. My eyes, my neck are turned to the left, looking at that hand. And down. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 5 more of these. So let's go ahead and start. Aim to reach a little bit further back each time. If it's not possible, it's not possible. But you can dream. Dream. And when I say each time, I mean like, each time today. Not that every single time you do these, you'll be making progress, because that would be kind of crazy. But you know what I mean. Okay, this is 3, and 4, last one, 5. Whew. Okay, that is thoracic rotation and the elephant walk. That is stretch number 2, or warm-up exercise number 2 completed. We're going to go into warm-up exercise number 3. I'm going to scroll through the chat real quick just to see how things are going in here. Evra, welcome back. It's good to see you too. Travel with Roxy says hi, hi, hi. All right. Eduardo says something about a human being elastic. I think that's a compliment, so thank you. All right. I am adjusting a camera real quick. Let's go. Time for warm-up exercise number 3, Cossack switches. We're opening up our legs decently wide. Everything can adjust later, so it's not important right now. What I do want you to focus on is pointing your feet out about 45-ish degrees and your knee traveling in the same direction as your toes. What that means is I want your knees to go in the same direction as your toes are pointing. Don't want your knees to do that or to do this. Same direction. Cool? Now we're going to point it out roughly 45 degrees and try to drop down. You can put your hands down, you can support yourself, you can do whatever you need to get into this squished position where your Achilles tendon in your calf is stretched out. You're feeling stretch right here. You're feeling a bit of pressure in the front of the ankle, and you're feeling a bit of pressure in the hip. All right? It's going to look a little bit like this. Your heel will most definitely come up because we don't want your quads to be firing the whole time. And I want you to drop into the squish position where your hamstrings are touching your calves. We're going to be going in and out of a position where your muscles are going to be firing, so we don't need to have them fire so hard while we're in this moment, because we're trying to chill and we're trying to get our body prepared for the intense stuff that's coming up real soon. I'm going to scoot my butt back so more of me is visible on the camera. On this side, while we wait for this side to get used to the stretch, our heel is down, our toes are up, and the knees are up, okay? This is called leg external rotation. We're going to need it for the side splits later, so I'm pointing it out now. Knees up, toes up, heels down. All right, we've hung out here for good enough time. Try to bring your butt over to the other side and switch. Remember, your knee is traveling the same line as your toes. We want to have your hamstrings touch your calves. We want to have your Achilles tendon stretched out, your calf stretched out, pressure in the front of the ankle, and pressure in the front of the hip. You can adjust all the other parts, your leg and stuff, to make sure that you're comfortable. Breathe, chill, relax. Try your best to get your heel to come down. Doesn't have to touch the floor, but I do want you to try to bring your heel down. 1, because it's more stable. 2, because then it forces a little bit more of a stretch. From here, we're going to be shifting from side to side. It's going to look a little bit like this. And I want you to focus not only on shifting from side to side, but spending a second in this deep bottom position. This is where a lot of the stretch is happening, right? When we move from side to side, the goal is to keep the butt low and try to strengthen the muscles and strengthen the little itty bitty things moving when we go from side to side. All right, like from here, it's a lot of the adductors, your hamstrings are even working, your butt, your low back, all these things we want to work on and get a little bit stronger. The stronger we are, the easier it will be for us to get into these cool positions that we want. Okay, let's go. You can put your hands down and start going from side to side. We're going to do at least 10. This is number 1. And 2. I just said to pause and focus on that bottom position, but I immediately did 2 reps without focusing on them. So I'm going to pause here for a second. And I think this is 3 or 4. If you want a harder version, take your hands off. Keep them tucked to your body and go from side to side. If you want an even harder version, try to sit up really, really, really straight. Stick your arms out in front of you and keep on going. If you are ready to tone it down, you can bring your arms down, help you with balance, help you with strength. If your knees are feeling a little bit uncomfortable, then you can change up the exercise as you see fit. If it is just your knees, you might want to do a squat and come down into this position, because for some people it's this shifting back and forth that makes it uncomfortable. And that is absolutely okay because we're still spending some time in that stretch and we're still getting a little bit stronger in our legs. I have absolutely no idea how many of these we've done, but I'm pretty sure I've done at least 10. So it's time for us to move on to the next stretch. Whew, come up into standing, give those hips a little pound, shake out the legs, and go grab a cushion. Grab something to protect your knee because we are going to do some hamstring stretches. You can grab a sneaker, grab a shoe, put your knee on it for padding if you are desperate. If you're not so desperate, a couch cushion will do. Old flip-flops, house slippers, those will all serve a good job. Whew. And take a sip of water, drink some coffee. I'm gonna actually grab my water. I'm back. Okay. Oh, the squat to down helps a lot, says Jenna. When going side to side, do we breathe in as we go up? Those are all great questions. Okay, hold on. Let me think about them as I walk backwards and figure out what I do with my hands. Coffee finished, water throw away. Okay. What do we do with our breathing as we go from side to side? Usually, I try to exhale when I'm doing the intense thing. In this case, it's the moving from side to side. That's pretty intense. So I think when you pause and you hang out here, you can breathe for that second. And then when you exhale, you can do the actual movement. If we're going much faster, I feel like I would take the rhythm a little bit differently. But because we're emphasizing on resting at the bottom, I think you should do the inhale here. Cool. The squat to down position. I think Jenna said it was really helpful. That's good. That's really, really good because you found something that works for you. And let's see, how do we take this into something more useful as we get down? If you want, you can try the next level of this, which is you come into like a quarter squat, you come across, and then sort of drop down, right? There's a little less pressure in the crazy angles when you come up to half a squat. I mean, if you want to come up to 3/4 of a squat to just give you something to work from, that also works. So go ahead, try those things and see, or I mean, let me know tomorrow if they do well for you and they still feel comfortable. Because if you just need to build a little bit more strength in some of the smaller, weaker muscles, then a half one might be perfect. Or instead of going, as low as possible, maybe it's just you need another 6 inches. Cool. All right. Whew. I hope you guys have had the chance to chill, get some water, because we're doing the hamstring stretch right now. One more sip of water for me, and we are ready to go. Put that push cushion in front of you, drop your knees down onto it. Our hips are pointing directly in front, our shoulders are pointed directly in front. Stick that leg out directly in front as well. Widen the stance maybe just a little bit so it's easier to stay balanced. If you are too straight in a line, you'll be like, whoa, what's going on? So just a little bit off to the side. The goal here in this hamstring stretch is to bring your belly button down to the leg. We want to fold forward. I'm going to rotate around so it's easier to see what my body is actually doing. And you don't have to do anything else. You can keep chilling. Okay, so this leg is out. Stance is a little bit wide. You can't see it anymore because my body is turned this way. But I want you to pull the leg in to the hip socket. I don't want you to feel like we're doing a big forward lungy front split stretch. We're just focusing on the hamstring. So pull that leg in and bring the belly back down. Whew. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up real fast, and that is a-okay. We're going to try and take a big deep breath inhale, and we're going to do a slow exhale. And in the exhale, I want you to slightly push to get deeper into the stretch. Okay? Let's go. Inhale. Slow exhale. Fold. If your knees are hurting immediately, you can give them a slight bend and focus on dropping your torso towards that leg first and then straightening it out later. I'm saying that because my knee was A little achy just now. And take some normal breaths. We'll do it again. Inhale. Slow exhale. Push. Fold. All right. When you are feeling like you're as deep as you can get, it's time for 30 seconds. Keep on holding that tension, that pressure. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on up out of that hamstring stretch. If this is your first time, you might feel a lot of pressure in your heel because we're going like this for quite a long time. So if you have a little bit of sensitivity there, maybe also grab something to cushion your foot in the future. Socks, some slippers, they might do the trick, but they're gonna keep suffering. We're gonna keep on attacking the heels when we do these side splits later. So maybe grab a pair of socks or a pair of flip-flops sooner rather than later. Let's keep going. We got another hamstring stretch on the other side. Whew. All right. Same thing. Widen the stance. Tuck the leg in. Pull it into the hip socket. Fold forward. Bring the belly button down as low as you can go. Take a big breath. Inhale. Slow exhale. Try to fold a little deeper. Hamstrings are going to tighten up. Bend your knee slightly if it helps. Take some normal breaths. One more inhale. Exhale. Fold. All right, now that you're here, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Remember, the focus is on the belly button and trying to bring it down to the ground. Not your chest, not your head, your belly button. 22, maybe, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Come on up out of that hamstring stretch. Breathe. You can get rid of the cushion. You don't need it anymore. I'm going to just toss it nice and smooth. Hope I don't do too much bowling. And we're going to take a quick break. Grab some water. Breathe. Sip. Jenna says, definitely burns a lot more than the right side for me. I like this stretch. Ooh, the hamstring stretch. You like. That's good. Okay. I'm going to scroll the chat real quick on both devices, and everything looks more or less good. I hope I didn't miss anything. We are done with the first of our 5 stretches. The second stretch is the butterfly, and it usually looks a little bit like this. We're bringing our feet together, we're pulling it in, and you're trying to get yourself squished down, and you're trying to bring the knees into the ground. And the groin area right here is where the muscles we're trying to stretch are located. And we're going to do this version of the stretch where we're using the back wall. So come find a wall to lean against to help you stay stable and get your butt to it. With your hips, your shoulder blades, your head all lined up against the wall. 1, you have great posture, but 2, you're in a very stable position because the wall isn't going anywhere. You can push against the wall and you can really focus on stretching out the legs. So what I want you to do is get back into position, pull the feet in towards you, and I want you to try your best to bring your knees into the ground. What does that mean? How do you do that? Well, I want you to use these outer thigh muscles. I want to use the glutes to try to contract them and pull the knees down into the ground. If it's your first time, it will be a little confusing, might be a little bit difficult to figure out how exactly to do it. You might realize these muscles are also contracting because you haven't figured out how to separate them. That's all okay because you're just beginning. From here, take a couple of breaths. Keep on contracting those muscles. Now, we're going to apply some force from our arms. When you apply force, you might notice your shoulders and the back of your head are suddenly feeling some pressure. It's pushing into the wall. That is absolutely okay. The wall is keeping you there, so you're applying all this force into your leg and you are staying in a position where the force actually goes into your legs. Also, I guess, into the back of your head, but the wall is helping you to apply and focus the force. All right, that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember to breathe. If you want, you can take those nice deep inhales and exhales as you go. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Let your hands go first. If you've been contracting the muscles in your outer thighs and your glutes for that whole entire time that I've been telling you to contract your muscles, your legs might feel like they're suddenly asleep, like they just don't work anymore. Don't be scared. It's totally normal. Just give them a little bit of a shake. Once you start moving them, they'll wake up and then you'll be ready to go. Whew. All right, let's get into stretch number 2. We're doing the standing pancake. Shake out the legs. Give your hips a little bit of a pound. In the standing pancake, we're basically opening up our legs. Doesn't have to be crazy wide. Nothing ridiculous. We're not doing a side split yet. If you can get down there comfortably, go ahead and do it. But if you can't, it's totally fine. We're going to fold forward. Try to bring the hips back and down. And this is your starting position for the standing pancake. If it looks like I'm just trying to touch my toes, but my legs are a little bit wider, yes, that is exactly what we're doing. In the standing pancake, in this position, gravity is working really hard, or we're feeling the results of gravity pulling down towards us the most. If you stick your arms out in front of you or above your head, you'll feel it even more, and that is the force we want to take advantage of when we're doing the standing pancake. So, get into this position. You can stick your butt a little bit further back to help counterbalance your hands being all the way forward, because you might feel like you want to fall forwards like this. If you don't, that's it. Let's go. I hope you're in position because we're starting. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Remember, the folding is coming at the hips. It's coming from trying to bring your belly button down to the ground. It's not about your chest or your head. In fact, you want to keep those pretty high up to make sure gravity is doing its best to help you out. I forgot how far we counted. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. All right, come on out of that stretch. Ooh. In the standing pancake, in any pancake stretch, you're going to feel the stretch in two main places. One, it is in these muscles, the adductors. Their job is to pull the leg in towards the center of the body. So when you do the opposite, when you open the legs up into that wide position, these muscles are going to be really unhappy. And the more crazy the rest of the position is, the more they're going to get tense as well. The second place we're going to stretch in that stretch is the hamstrings. The hamstrings connect basically in the bottom of your pelvis, right underneath your butt, to right below your knee. So anytime you fold forward, you're going to feel the hamstrings firing and going, hey, what are you doing? And it doesn't matter if your legs are open, if your legs are closed, your hamstrings are going to be unhappy with you. So Get used to it. Okay, we're gonna move on into stretch number 4. It is called the figure 4. We bring the ankle across the body, just above the knee, and my mouth balanced. There we go. I'm pretty sure yesterday we did the pigeon, so we're gonna do the figure 4 today. The figure 4 stretch looks a little bit like this. We're taking that leg, we're bringing it up, we're trying to fold and bring our belly button, and by extension, our chest down to that leg, so that we are feeling this stretch out here in the outer hip in the side of the glute area. Cool? For the figure 4, we're going to get into position like this. This is a version where we lay on the ground. Oh, if you prefer the pigeon and you know how to do the pigeon well, go ahead and do the pigeon. But if you want to follow along, here's the figure 4. We're taking that leg that we want to stretch. We're crossing it over to the other leg. We're reaching our hands through the hole we just made and around the leg, and we're pulling it towards our chest. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's straightforward. Whew. Hold on, I'm gonna turtle spin and get into position. You want to feel the stretch building right here in the outer side of your hip, and pull. Try to keep your back and neck fairly neutral. Sometimes I'm doing something like this by accident, or we're doing a lot of this. You don't have to contract your abs that hard. It feels more impressive, but you don't really have to do it that much because this is all coming from the hips. All right, I forgot to start counting. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If you have sensitive knees, it's feeling a little achy right now, you can grab your knee with your palm of the other hand and give it a little bit of extra support. 15, 14, 13, 12. You might feel like you want to give that extra support all the time because it might make the stretch feel more intense. So go ahead and test that out even if you don't have achy knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. Relax the leg. Take a deep breath. And we're going to switch over to the other side. So, we're going to do that again. Other leg. Going to cross it over to the opposite knee. Reach your arm through or around. Protect the knee. Give it some love. And pull. Try to keep the hips low. And that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Since you're already on the ground, take a couple of seconds, relax, enjoy, and when you're ready, come on, roll over, and let's get into a standing position. Grab a sip of water while we scroll through the chat real quick. See if there's anything else. Arms out definitely adds a lot to the stretch. Holy cow. Yes. Thank you for experimenting with the standing pancake, because that is really important little detail that you can use in any stretch that you want to do in the future, where just extending your arms out, however much your arms weigh, putting them in front of your head can change the dynamic of the stretch. When you do it like this, even if you're holding just a little bottle of water, that 1 pound of extra weight in your hands will feel like so much more. And that is exactly what we want to do when we want to stretch with low equipment. That was really good. Almost cried on my left side. Whoa! Amazing. I'm glad. That comment came from Big Mama. I'm so happy that you felt. And Jenna says same. Ha. Yes. Great. I love it. That means that there is a really important stretch that you should probably do more of. If it feels that good, you should spend more time in it. If you want, I recommend you trying a variation of that called the pigeon. And it basically looks like this. It's a little bit more complex, so you don't have to do it quite this way. If you really like the, oh my God, what am I talking about? The figure four, stick with it because you know it works and it gives you the results that you want and it feels really good for you. But there's also different variations. So I want you to experiment and figure out if there's one you like even better, right? The pigeon looks like this. We're bringing that leg across the body just like before. And we're trying to bring our chest down to that leg. This back leg isn't so important, but like this, gravity is bringing your chest down so you don't have to pull as hard with your hands and you're still feeling the stretch out here. The stretch will feel a little bit different, so experiment. Cool? All right, we are ready to move on to the fifth and final stretch, our side splits. We do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits, and we do some resting in between. We shake it out. We do some stuff that looks a little bit like this, where we try to loosen up our muscles to reset in between each of our side splits. Since we're doing a lot of stuff about flexibility, I want to talk a little bit about the mentality I want you to have when we are stretching. One of the most important things is feeling safe, feeling secure, and feeling like you have the ability to relax. If you are sprinting from one thing to another, you're barely making time for anything at all, and you're constantly in a state of really tenseness, it's going to be really hard for you to make progress in your stretch. That's not to say you have to forget everything else that's going on in your life. That is also really hard. But I want you to try your best to feel safe and secure when you can. In this case, when we're in a side split, I want you to feel like if you fall or if something goes not quite the way you imagined, you're going to feel fine. You're going to just put your hands down, caught yourself, you're going to be safe, all right? And one of the scariest places to fall is backwards. So I want you to get really close to a wall so that if you start falling backwards, you're like, no, oh my God, what's going on? Your shoulder, your butt, something smashes into the wall. The wall is like 6 inches behind you, and everybody's good. Nothing was that scary, right? And we can get right back into the side split. Cool? So, for the sake of feeling good, feeling safe, try your best to find a nice solid wall behind you, preferably one without a doorknob in the middle of it because that will really hurt your shoulder. And just get 6 to 12 inches in front of it so that if you try to stick your butt behind you or try to stick your shoulder behind you, it'll just hang out on the wall. Cool? From here, let's do some side splits. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. Open up those legs decently wide. Fold forward, put your hands down, and pretend like you're basically doing a push-up. We don't actually want you to do a push-up. We just want you to feel that your weight is in your hands so that there's less weight in your legs because you only have so much body weight to distribute. When some of it is in your arms, it's easier for you to rotate the legs. If you've been here since the beginning, since the Cossack switches, this is called leg external rotation. We're seeing it again. This rotates the thigh bone, so it's part of it is facing a different direction and it doesn't smash into your hip bone. That will make it easier to get into a side split because your bones actually allow it to happen. So once you have pointed your knees and your toes up into the air, I want you to try to put your weight right back into your legs. So walk those hands back into your hips. We put them out forward in the beginning to reduce weight in our legs. Now we're pulling them back to put more weight back into our legs. Whew. Now that you're in this position, you're free to stop if you can't feel like you're going to get any further into the stretch. If you feel like you might be able to eke out a little bit more, try to do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. See if maybe it's just your sticky feet friction holding you back. And that's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If any position feels like it's a little bit hard to hold, you can take a break from some of those muscles by walking your hands back and forth. Try to keep your body folded forward, but you can change the stretch and its primary muscles getting stretched just by walking your hands forward. All of these stretches are kind of tied together. One is called the straddle. We're just trying to open your legs to the side. One of these is mostly the side split. And if you fold really far forward and you try to bring your chest down, we're doing a pancake. So those three stretches are very, very, very closely related. And you can work on any one of them in this position. So if it's too intense, you can take a break and work on one of the other stretches. And that's it. I'm pretty sure we've done 30 seconds. So let's get out of this. Walk your hands forward. Pull your knees in. Breathe. Chill. Relax. That was super intense. A whole bunch of different muscles in our legs and our hips were firing really hard, trying to keep us from getting any deeper into that position. And now they are super tense. So let's try our best to relax them, come back into standing, and we're going to shake. This shake kind of looks like a flick, like we just washed our hands and we're trying to get the water off as much as possible, but you have to do the same for your feet. You know, you just walked out of the ocean at the beach and you're like, ugh, there's sand stuck on my feet and you're trying to flick it off. That's what we're trying to do. All right, the first couple, take nice and gentle because you're trying to figure out how you do this, figure out the form. But as you get better at it, I want you to flick a little bit more. I want you to flow a little bit more. And we're gonna wiggle, shake, flop, flick, whatever you want to call it, until the leg muscles are nice and loose and relaxed. We're gonna try and hold some nice intense flicking for 5 to 10 seconds, and your legs should be more or less back to normal. What we're doing is forcefully putting our legs into a position where we know they're relaxed, right? If your muscles are really tense, you're gonna be more like a robot, right? Those muscles are gonna be really stiff and you're gonna be like, ugh. What we want is the opposite of that. We wanna be jello. We wanna be freshly cooked pasta, just dangling from your ladle or whatever. And once you feel like your legs are fairly back to normal, we're gonna do a couple of joint checks just to make sure everything that we put some pressure into earlier is still working as intended. So we're gonna start with some hip circles. Hip circles. We're gonna do some high knees. You don't have to do very many. We're just doing 1 or 2. If anything feels weird, we can address it. If it doesn't feel weird, then we're ready to move on. We're gonna do a mini squat here. Put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankles. Do some calf raises if you can. So you got your toes working, your ankles working, your calves working, your knees working, your hips working. Everything in the lower body is more or less working. We don't really do anything for the other directions that your legs should be able to move in, but I think the hip circles more or less covers it. Cool? Let's go. That was round 1 of these side splits. We got 2 more rounds. I intentionally filled this with slower chit-chatting and yapping because I want your muscles to relax before we go into the second one. Jenna says, I will say before this I was in pain from sitting on the ground a few minutes and now I feel so loose. Yes, awesome, amazing. Keep experimenting. See which muscles, which stretches help you the most when you are sitting on the ground, because not every single one you need to do. You don't need to spend half an hour stretching every single day in order to get more comfortable on the ground. There's probably a couple of key stretches that will help you get most of the results. Cool. Gayatri says, yes, that's what keeps me in check. What did I miss? Scroll. Big Mama says, and if you didn't see before, I also want to say thank you for having a session before I went to work. Lovely. Amazing. I'm glad the timing works out for you. Okay, let's keep going. That was enough of a break, I think. Ooh, there's something I wanted to say. We have been doing some live side split stretching. We do this every single day for consistency at 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever time that is for you. We do this. Wow, I'm really struggling. Let me start over. I can't even remember how the spiel goes. I've been doing this for like 3, 4, 5 months. What is going on? Why is my brain farting so bad? We do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and hopefully to make the suffering parts of doing the side splits a little bit more fun. I try to bring good vibes, you guys engage in the chat, and hopefully we can keep on suffering on the floor together and get our side splits. I hope you're having fun. I hope you'll consider following, subscribing, doing all those cool things, getting notified so that you can keep coming back. We are live at 9 p.m. Eastern every single day. Whew, okay, boom, finally figured that out. Okay, let's get into side split number 2. And again, get close to that wall so that if you start falling backwards, the wall is there to keep you safe. Then we're gonna open up those legs. I have skipped a couple steps ahead, but that's okay. Fold forward, put your hands down, put some of that weight in front so it's easier to rotate your legs. I'm gonna scoop my butt back so that the camera can see what my feet are doing. My feet are pointing up, my knees are pointing up, and my heels are down. I talked about this earlier. We're putting a lot of pressure into our heels. So if you are feeling a lot of discomfort, grab some foam, grab some flip-flops, grab something. Try to make sure that it's secure to your foot and it doesn't slip out from underneath you. So if it's super thick, like really thick shoes, that might not be super helpful, but I hope that helps. Cool. From here, we're walking the hands back towards our hips, trying to put that weight right back to where it should be in our legs. And you might notice that you're already deeper into the stretch than before. And keep on taking some nice breaths. Don't hold your breath, even if this is a little bit painful. Do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. See if you can break that last little bit of friction, holding your feet back. And that is it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, we're almost done, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. Kneel if you need to. Breathe. Grab a sip of water as you come up into standing. And let's start shaking it up. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. As you get more comfortable with the shaking and the flicking and the flopping, you pick up the intensity. The goal is to make sure your legs are loose and flowy and floppy. You can add in a little bit for your arms as well. They don't do quite as much as your legs are suffering through on the floor, but your arms are holding your weight, right? And they are working pretty hard. Maybe your fingertips are feeling a little bit tired right now because, you're trying to reach down. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But once you've done a little bit of that, I want you to emphasize a little bit on the hips. I want you to do some stanky leg. But what I really care about is internal rotation and external rotation, just to get a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go all the way in and all the way out. Just a little bit in the middle is enough. You might feel that it's like, oh, there's like something going on here. And that is exactly what we want to reduce the tension around. Once you've done a couple of these, you can make it fun, make it a dance move. Then I want you to just bounce around a little bit. Whew. All right. I'm pretty sure we don't need the hip checks because of what we just did, but let's do it anyway. Hip circles. High knees. Pop into that mini squat, put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure on the ankles, do a little bit of a calf raise. And if everything feels more or less good, then we are ready to continue. But since this is our third and final side split coming right up, I want you to make sure that you really get as loose as you can. Because after the third one, you'll be really struggling to get off the ground and pulling your legs back in together. And we want to make sure that we fight that as much as possible. So relax. Shake those legs. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Last couple of seconds. All right, let's go. Butt to the wall. Take one step in front. Open up those legs nice and wide. Fold forward. Put your hands down. Externally rotate the legs. Walk the hands back towards your butt. Put that weight back into the legs. You might be noticing, wow, we are so much deeper than that first rep. If that's the case, amazing. You can do so much once you're warmed up. Believe in yourself. From here, breathe. See if you can get just a little bit deeper with a little wiggle from side to side. And once you are at your maximum, it's time for our last 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Ooh. Pull the legs in from underneath you. Kneel. Take some deep breaths. Relax. And when you can, come back up into standing. We're going to shake it out one last time. This last shakeout isn't because we need our muscles to be absolutely super crazy loose so that we can get the most out of every side split. But we do want to shake it out so that you're not just holding random tension and your legs start behaving strangely, because you got to go back to regular life, right? You got to go do things for the rest of the day. So shake it out, relax, get the muscles to work as they are intended to. When we get into these side split positions, when we work on these stretches, especially if you are getting a little bit more advanced and you're adding in P&F style techniques, which are advanced, so I won't get into it right now, then your nervous system is going to be a little bit confused. It's going to keep you from performing super optimally. And we want to counter and mitigate that as much as possible by letting our body relax after the stretches. Anyways, shake out the legs, shake them out, shake out the arms, be like Jello, be like floppy noodles, ramen freshly out of the hot water. And once you're feeling loose and feeling pretty good, let's do our hip checks, or our joint checks, hip circles. Just a couple is fine. High knees. If everything feels good, keep going. Pop into that little bit of a squat, feel some pressure in the knees and the ankles, do a calf raise, make sure everything is working. And once you have done all those things, we are done for today. What is the time? Oh, 9:58. We are going nice and fast. I have hit, I think, under 1 hour several days in a row now. And I think 2 weeks ago, I could not for the life of me get under an hour. So we're making improvements. Making improvements. Whew. All right. Let's see. Alec400 says, woo, stanky leg. Yes. It's the best way to make class more fun. We turn it into dance class. But it's really all about the joints. Kanowski says, Ken, I've been missing these. I'm studying for a class. I get it. We are doing something that takes quite a bit of time to commit to. So I am trying to get a more compact version ready and filmed, or it's filmed. I just need to edit it, I think, on YouTube so that you can follow along for the whole thing. And if you need a temporary replacement, I think I have an old video on Instagram. It's also at Splits on the side is the account. I think it's one of my pinned posts. It has like 700 views or something. And it is a pretty fast, like 15-minute version of this show. I think we only do one round of side splits in that one. So you're going to have to remember to shake out your legs and get back into side splits. But if you want something else to follow along because you can't make the time to be here at this exact moment in time, then that is a tool that you can use. But stretching can't be your number one priority for the entirety of your life, right? It's like kind of my big thing. Doesn't have to be your big thing. Uh, Studying for a class is very, very important. So if you can't make it, don't feel bad. I'm really happy that you tried to be here, and I hope when you're done with classes, we can keep stretching. Cool. Jenna says the shaking helps wonders. Haven't thought of this before. Great. I'm so happy. I think most people have not thought about shaking because it's one of those things where you look like you're kind of crazy, right? And if you start just going in the middle of a gym, people will be very confused. But the premise is the more floppy and the more loose you are, the easier it is for your muscles to be relaxed. And when it's relaxed, you can go back to step zero and then contract as hard as you want from there. Because if your muscles are perpetually like 50% flexed, you can't even get them to relax. It's gonna be real hard to get the most out of every bit of exercise that you're doing. All right, I'm gonna keep scrolling, see how far back I can get in the next couple of seconds. Oh, okay, we didn't have that many comments. Cool. Coming back down to the bottom. Black Pearl 25 says, thanks, Ken. This is my first time watching and I enjoyed it. Lovely. Welcome. Yeah, we do this every single day. So keep on coming back. We can practice together. I hope you had enough fun that you'll keep coming back. Is your name on YouTube the same? Yes, my account name is Splits on the Side on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So you can definitely do that to make it easy on yourself to find. Keep scrolling. Gayatha says, Ken, I feel now that I can flex muscles in my legs I've never been able to following your life. Lovely. Gayatha, that is amazing. Part of it is because we're using muscles in different ways than you've probably used them in the past, and so you're awakening muscles that you didn't know you had. And part of it is we do a little bit of strengthening work in and around each of our stretches, right? Like when we do the butterfly stretch, and I tell you to use your outer hip muscles to pull your knees down before you push on them, and we hold that tension for the whole entire however long. I start telling you to hold those muscles like 30 seconds before the actual stretch. So you hold them for like a minute. Those are all little things that I sort of intentionally do so that we strengthen and have a little bit of extra time building up strength without feeling like, oh, we have to hold it for a whole minute. I imagine some people feel like, oh man, Ken will not start counting when he seems like he should be counting. I want to give the people who've been here a lot and know the exact workout a little bit more time to work on slightly more advanced stretching. And so if you know exactly what you're going to be doing next, you can start working on it in advance. You get a little bit of extra time, while the people who are brand new coming in for the first time, they can follow me word for word and be like, 30 seconds. All right, great. Let's go. 30, 29. How that intention manifests in actual reality is a little bit sloppy. I forget to count. I forget what number I've gotten to because I wanted to explain something cool. And so thank you for bearing with me while I do that. Ganassi says, oh, I will follow you on other platforms. I should have a long time ago. Thank you for the resources. Lovely. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to keep scrolling through the chat. Black Pearl says, thanks, Ken. It was my first time watching and I enjoyed it. Lovely. I'm glad. I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that I can be of service and that I can be helpful because it's hard. Stretching, working out is usually kind of difficult. And it takes a lot of effort to go from never really doing anything to doing it the first time. And that is something that I am really thoughtful about. I try to make sure that when somebody comes into the live, we're doing something, I'm trying to show that I explain stuff as we go so that you don't feel like you have to know exactly what's going on, and hopefully help people go from that not really stretching, not really exercising state to, hey, this is my first one. And hopefully I run the show well enough. The energy is good enough. The communication in the live, the chats are fun enough that you feel motivated to keep coming back. And once you start getting that streak going and you know how much better you feel when you're on the floor, for example, after doing a couple of stretches, thank you, Jenna, for reminding us, then you start realizing why it's useful in a really real and like literal way, instead of being like, oh yes, I know everybody tells me that if I work out every day it's good for me, I'll live longer, all those things. Being sort of lectured on why you should exercise versus why, suddenly your butt feels better when you're sitting down on the ground. Very, very different things. And once you've, sort of figured out what things are important to you, because maybe side splits aren't that important to you, maybe hip mobility isn't that important to you, but something that you figured out from this live is, you can take that, you can run with it, and you can figure out how you want to integrate it into your life, hopefully consistently, because that's what we're all about. Okay, Lulu says, I really appreciate the motivation you give us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nana says, hello. But Black Pearl, what time does it begin? We start about an hour and 5 minutes ago every day. For the US time zones, it is 9 p.m. Eastern in sort of the East Coast. And then it's 6 p.m. Pacific for the West Coast. And for the in-between, it's somewhere between 6 and 9, 7 or 8. Couple more questions. Nana says, I'm desperate to gain some flexibility back because I'm in so much pain and I want to feel better. Amazing. I mean, not amazing, but that desperation helps you focus your energy, right? A lot of the time, people don't have a really good reason to focus on flexibility. So you have one of the first and most important pieces. You've got real motivation, and you'll also be able to see if you're making progress because you have the really important measuring tape of pain and discomfort. That sounds like a horribly insensitive way of saying, good, I'm glad that you want to stretch. And I don't mean it in that way, I guess. And it's going to sound like I'm backpedaling now. But motivation is really hard. And I have seen a lot of times where people have really good stories that they're like, I'm going to take care of my health when something absolutely unfortunate is happening in their lives. And it gives them the right motivation to pursue something and really take care of that one thing. So I think if your goal is to work on flexibility and you're feeling like it's the solution to some of the struggles that you are having in your regular life, then you're going to do a really good job. And I believe that it's going to make a big difference. So you got this. You got this. Also, if you want to keep on practicing live, we're here 9 p.m. every day. Let's see. Gayeta says, bye everyone. It's 6 p.m. for anyone in LA. Good night, everyone. Yes. Thank you, Gayeta, for making it real. Nana says, yeah, I get it. So no worries. Whew, okay. Okay. I think with that, we are all wrapped up in the chat. Yes, it's very personal and I need it, Nana says. Great. That is really important because it's so hard to do something every day, to really, keep on practicing when you don't really care about it, you don't really need it, right? Like the side splits, I have been trying to get them for like 15 years. But the way that it comes up in life is that every year around New Year's, I'm like, I'm going to get the side splits this year, right? I don't need them for daily life. I'm not a dancer. I'm not doing intense rock climbing where having a really good like leg reach and having power in it would be sick. There's no real utility in the side splits by themselves. And so for 15 years, I started them. I'd do like a week of really intense stretching. I'd watch like 30 hours of YouTube videos prior to the stretching to plan and to organize my plan. And then I'd do it for like a week and then I'd drop off. And then 6 months later, I'd be like, one more time before the end of the year, I'm gonna get the side splits. And then I start again and then I drop off. And I've been doing that for 15 years. So when I say like having a really strong motivation is important, that's what I'm talking about. When you don't have a really strong motivation, it's really easy to just drop off and never actually make any progress, because that realistically is what happens to the majority of everybody, right? So having something personal, having something challenging is horrible and unfortunate on one end, right? But on the other end, it is also incredibly motivating for you to solve that problem in whatever way that you can. And it's 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 crazy how those things overlap. Alec 400 says, "You ever done martial arts?" No, I have not done martial arts. From my childhood love of Jackie Chan movies, I feel like I probably should have tried and done some more, but I have not. Okay, with that, I think we are officially done in the chat. I'm gonna scroll real quick just to see that I am absolutely certain I am. Gonna check in real quick on our YouTube live. Eduardo, if you are still here, thank you for always sending lovely, happy messages in the chat, even if, I have to Google them afterwards and don't understand what you're saying in the moment, but I do Google them afterwards, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the live. I hope it helped you at least a little bit to stay a little bit more motivated, to help you take care of the things that you need to take care of. And I hope you keep on practicing, whatever means that it makes sense for you. If it does make sense for you to keep coming back because you have this time every single day, we are here live, 45 minutes-ish of stretching. Everything past that is usually Q&A and just talking and chit-chatting. And I hope you feel really good after the stretches. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Alec 400, good night, and thank you for being here. All right, I'm closing off the chats, closing off the lives. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Chair says thank you, and I closed it right in her face. I'm sorry.